Have you done these before, Sandy?
I think this is my fourth podcast.
Mm.
Yes. Thank you.
Really?
But it's the best podcast because it's you, Jamie.
Oh, my God.
Can we just jump in about the movie? I'm so excited.
Do you want to?
I do.
Go for it. What do you want to say?
Okay. I just found out.
Closer to your mouth.
Okay. I just found out today because I've been watching the trailer.
Yeah.
Which is really good, by the way.
Thank you.
We're talking about the movie Don't Suck, starring Jamie Kennedy.
Don't Suck.
Yes, which is a great title.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Suck, meaning don't bomb as a comedian.
Yes.
And Don't Suck My Blood as a vampire. And then
in a town full of blood-sucking vampires and just people that suck. And then suckers that suck to get ahead. Right?
Very true. It's just a great title.
Thank you.
Really. And then you told me today that it opens today.
Yesterday.
Okay.
It's in 8 cities, but it's playing here in Glendale in a movie theater here. We made it to enough little cities, but you can stream it on Vudu, Google Play, Apple TV. It's on Prime, but there's something going on. They have to re-upload it. There's like 6 different streaming places.
But I want to go into the movie.
I would love it if you did that.
I want to go into the movie and see it. That's how I want to see it.
You're going to go by yourself? Or you're gonna
bring What is it rated?
Ooh. I don't know if Matt, how old's Max?
11.
He can see it. I'm pretty sure he could see it. I don't know what it's rated. It's crazy. I don't know what it's rated. I don't think it's R. It's not really. There's one little sex thing, but it's funny. But
okay,
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay,
but your child
is more than once.
Yeah. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my pod. I have the beautiful and talented and hilarious Sandy Gelfand, who I know as Sandy Walshin.
That's right.
Wow. So you're wondering why I'm having on my pod or no?
No, I just figured because...
Well, because you were like, here's my bio. Here's all this stuff that you're very much...
old school.
You're you're a little bit of a control freak, like me. And so when a control freak meets a control freak...
They get along really good.
So here's what's crazy how we met. You gonna say it? Go for it.
Something cow in the marina. Wait, what's it called? Cow's End. The
Cow's End
in the marina.
Can I tell you what's just so crazy?
Yes.
This is gonna blow your mind. It's so crazy. Last night I do a show at Jay Davis's. He's got an amazing show. I gotta get you a spot there, Yamashiro.
Okay.
I do it. He doesn't give me the light. It's where I'm at. I don't. Bill Devlin, also a great guy, has a show. He does the lab. He's like, when you're driving over, he's like, well, it's kind of light, but I appreciate you coming. I'm like, do I really want to do this show? And I'm tired. I've been promoting. And I just go to do the show. It was a weird show. My energy wasn't there. The crowd was like, but then I had to like fight to get it to laugh. And then I'd make fun of them. Like, why do I have to move my energy? It was like all that shit. I'm tired.
But I have to interject. No matter how light a show is, they're on their feet every show that you do. And that's the truth, Jamie. Even though it's not easy, but every show that I've worked with you, they're on their feet and you kill it. So, but I know when it's hard, but
sometimes,
go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I do well, but there are times it's like, I don't want to, it's the job. I don't want to do the job and I'm not getting paid a lot and I'm like doing it as a favor. So I'm like, let's just talk. And if we can't talk, at 11 o'clock on a Friday, and if they're just dead, then let's just go home.
Right.
Anyway,
yeah.
I do the show, and 2 women come up to me. 3. Well, I was working with one, Sally Mullins, who was the host.
Okay.
And Charisse, I forget her last name, and Lemaire. Do you remember Lemaire? Lemaire had a hair shop called Lemaire Hair. Anyway, she goes to me last night, she goes, remember we used to go to the Cow's End?
Oh,
so there's a whole class of women that all you young chicks today that think no, Sandy and her group were before me.
And my sister, Sonia.
Yeah, and Sonia was always out. It's you, Sonia, Cynthia Levin, Lemaire, Ruthie. There's a whole
Ruthie.
Remember Ruthie?
Tall Ruthie.
Ruthie. She was a model too.
I love Ruthie.
Yes.
She was funny.
I know. The difference between... I can say this, but I'm going to edit it. The difference between that class and this class is beautiful women who wrote jokes. Too far? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys... And like Felicia Michaels was in that group. You know, I mean, like, so that's how I met you, but then I didn't see you for about 25 years.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm in a Marie Callender's in a back room.
In Valencia.
Yeah, and Randy's like, hey, Sandy wants to go up. And I'm like, who's Sandy? It's like, she worked with you in the 90s. And blah, blah, blah. And you know her sister Sonia. I'm like, I know Sonia. She's got with Barry. And she's like, she's a big draw. Let her do some time. So you kind of jumped into my own Marie Callender's.
I'm sorry.
You did. Or was it a Perkins? I think it's a Marie Callender's.
No, it's it's that restaurant.
I wanted to say Marie Callender's.
I know, it's kind of like a Marie Callender's, but it's not.
But it's a great room. Our buddy Randy runs it.
Yeah.
And then I met you, and you killed it.
Thank you.
And then we started working together.
I'll never forget what you told me that night.
What did I tell you?
You go, oh, that's a Tonight Show set. And I'm like, it is? Really? And you're like, oh, yeah, clean, no interruptions. That's a Tonight Show set.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
I mean, you probably did 12 or 15, but it was all tight, but it was 2 sets. You could have did an easy, tight 6 and just have it. Not that it does anything for your career anymore,
right?
But it's a blessing from the industry. And it's like the industry loves this woman enough to give her that. So from that set, I was like, oh, she could do corporates. I mean, you could do colleges. Although, even though your act is so, like, completely fun, I'm sure somebody would have problems with certain, you know, because of, like...
Clean.
Well, no, it's clean, which is great, but it's, like, you know, because of what you talk about with women and, you know, you know what I mean? Certain stuff and how men and women and cheering, and which is funny as hell, but I'm sure somebody would cry about it.
Oh, always.
Right?
Always.
So, but... You have such a fascinating story, and I wanted to like talk to you because you started comedy, and people don't know this, but you really were way before me. You were with the Kinnison crew.
Yeah. Damn.
And what year was that?
I don't remember. I just remember that Sears is still open. My favorite line of his. Well, honey, it looks like Sears is still open.
So you used to run around with his crew.
Yeah, I did.
For how long?
Not for long, because he wouldn't let me be in on the group. He wouldn't let me perform. He goes, no, you just sit there.
You were his little doll.
Yeah.
Little baby doll.
You just sit there and take notes. I'm like, when is it my turn? Can I perform next? He goes, no, you just sit there. So that didn't last very long.
Wait. So were you doing comedy then?
Yes.
And this was
at the store.
This was in the mid-'80s.
I don't remember exactly.
So you were at the store.
Yeah, I was at the store.
Did you get passed?
I got passed at the store.
Okay.
And it was Kinnison and who's the guy that we just lost?
Carl LeBeau.
Carl LeBeau.
God bless his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl. And Carl. Schubert. Shuby.
Yep.
Shuby Dooby. And you met Sam.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say if you guys were extra friends or not.
Yeah, I'm not going to say if you are either.
But you were a comedian. You were just this beautiful woman.
Right. It's, thank you very much.
Did you get any time? Did he know you were a comic? You were at the store. He met you at the store?
Yeah. You know who was another one that we lost? Louis. He said, you're funny. Louis told me I was funny. Wow. And he was already kind of established.
Yeah.
He was already established. You know who else told me I was funny? Rosie O'Donnell.
Wow.
Rosie said, you're really funny. And you know who told me I wasn't funny?
Oh.
Mitzi.
What does that tell you?
I know.
What does that tell you?
Tells you you've got to
I mean, like,
really work with the owners or bring them gifts or something.
you got to work with the men.
Yeah.
Well, Mitzi clearly had an issue.
Yeah.
Because,
May she rest in peace. We're
Yeah,
supposed
God
to
bless
talk
her.
about the dead.
God bless her soul.
God bless her soul.
She's a legend, but, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
at the time, she's running the store.
Yeah.
She's the cock of the walk.
Yeah.
Who's this young little thing coming in here being funny?
Yeah.
Getting the top comedians telling you you're funny.
Yeah.
I mean, she should have let you play.
But you know how that is when you're starting out, when a established comedian. That's what you did for me, Jamie.
Hmm.
When we were over in Valencia at Marie's or whatever that restaurant was. You said, that's a Tonight Show set.
Yes, it was.
I was like, well, he's my best friend, whether he knows it or not.
Well, because it's not old school, but people would say that. But it's just good school. It's you came to the show, did it. And I have to learn from this sometimes because I'm usually am, but, you know, sometimes I'm not as professional. You know, Matt, like last night, I wasn't putting my best foot forward in one show, but I was tired. But you come no matter if it's a Marie Callender's or a 3,000-seat performing arts center. You dress to the nines. You're prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You have all your cues ready.
Right.
You take this very seriously. You know your crowd. You have different sets that you adjust for different crowds. And you go and you take it as if you're giving a speech at the White House.
That's right.
And that's just something that both sexes could work on. Yeah. The younger generation, I'm sorry, I get it. You want to be conversational, and you should be. You got to work on. And the joke, you have jokes. And it's like, you're just a funny person. You're a true funny. I mean, you know, you're a dual funny. Like I always said, my mother was funny because my mother knew a joke. My father was funny because he was just a character. I had no idea.
Right.
You're both. You're a character, but you also know funny. Yeah. And you know how to write jokes. Like you have good punchlines. I mean, one of her first lines is this. I'm going to do it.
Okay,
do
please.
it.
Oh,
she walks out, and I'm going to get to her history, but she goes, any football fans in the crowd? And people are like, woo. And she goes, I'll speak slow. And you let it sit and it wait. And it's just, you know, that's the big thing is you take your time. Oh, and now there's a lot of younger people that need to, like, you know, I always say who my favorite comedians are, you know, Eddie Murphy and George Carlin, but I always throw Joan Rivers in there. Oh. Joan Rivers raised me. And she, with her, like, one of the people I used to watch. And you are of that ilk. And I hate to bag on younger comics sometimes, but it's like, guys, there's a lot more out there than talking about your sex, and like just because you say something shocking doesn't mean it's going to get a laugh. Right. Is that too? Am I an old man now? Yeah. No. Like, take me on a ride. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And but that's what you do. You have all these fucking jokes.
Thank you.
And it was refreshing.
But one of the reasons why I like you, and you know this, is because you're multi-talented on so many levels. I don't know if all your fans know this, but a great dancer.
Oh, thank you.
Let's put the comedy on the side. And I want you to do more. You know, I just love when you come on and start doing your break dancing and your pop locking and all that stuff.
You love it. You're like when you're
that.
doing your anti-vax material, do some pop locking.
Yeah. Maybe because I'm a cheerleader. I don't know, but I love that. And you have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you.
You and the Love Master. He's got an incredible voice too.
Craig is, he's a super singer.
But both of you have a great, and you do characters, and you do the greatest impressions of drunk women in the crowd.
There's so many.
I know.
There's so many.
God bless them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know this whole Karen phenomenon that's happening? We've known this for decades. I've known it at least since the early 90s because there's always the most entitled audience member in the crowd is always a drunk white woman who's had a box of Franzia in her early to mid 40s that left the office at 5 and she's going out.
Yeah.
And and now this is a thing of Karen, but they've been around for decades for me. I'm sure you've seen it too.
But that's the neat thing about being a comedian and you have a big heart too. And you're spiritual, which I love. You really are. And so we can, like, with our gift as being comedians, we can kind of bring their presence up so they can kind of maybe take a look at themselves in a kind way. And that's what you do. You don't bash them,
No.
You don't bash them, but it's like, do you realize how you might be affecting everyone else around you? It's like, really, we have a mission to be of service to the whole world through comedy. What other better way than to use humor to get our message across? It's like love and service, really.
You're almost getting emo.
Okay.
I hope you get emo during this pod.
You love when I get emo.
She gets emo a lot. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
But
Well,
you know what? I had a lady last night. I never try to bash a heckler. Even Jay was like, the lady was mean to you, but I give them all the rope and then they decide what to do with it.
Right.
But this lady, I was having like a tough 2 minutes in the middle of the set. And I go, I don't know what's going on here. I go, is it me or is it you guys? And some lady goes, is he you? And I said, it's just all me, man. Nothing to do with you. She goes, nope, just you. And I said, so you have it all figured out? Everything's going swimmingly in your life, no problems? Yep, just you. So you know what I did? I just keep digging and then got her to talk and we had some fun. And at the end, I hug her.
Oh,
I never
love that.
I feel terrible, especially post-COVID. The economy's insane. People don't have money. They come to these shows like you're saying, like it is like therapy. When people come out there, like they want to come.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I want to give them a great job because I feel bad. But then there's sometimes I'm mean.
Remember how I'm bodyguard when we're on the road together?
Which time?
I love that all the time. Because when I'm on the road with Jamie, people almost attack him. They feel like, see, what it is you're so friendly and personable. They all feel like you're family.
Yeah.
So they're all over it. And you're like, Sandy, Sandy. I'm like, step away from the comedian. Step away from the comedian.